Bum ba da bum ba da bum ba da bum 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 ba da bum ba da bum ba da bum ba da bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Okay, cross. So I am just gonna ramble on and on about cross, the cross and inspection. I don't know how long it's gonna take, or I don't know if anyone's gonna actually watch it, but who cares? Um, so when you do F12, to me there are three distinct parts to your F12. You have your cross, you have your first three F12 pairs, and you have your last F12 pair. Now I say the last F12 pair is a category of its own, because that when you're doing your last F12 pair, that's when all the weird stuff comes out, like winter variation or summer variation, ZBF12, edge control techniques, all for manipulating your OLL and PLL. So that's why it's on in a class of its own. By the way, summer variation, Chesterlian, Malaysian, yeah. And then you have your first three F12 pairs. Those are your first three F12 pairs. Nothing much I can say about those now. They're very intuitive. You just use logic to solve it. And then you have your cross. Okay, to me, the cross is the most important part of your F12. Probably the most important part of your solve as well because of inspection. When you do your inspection, when you're given your 15-second inspection time, you're not going to be able to, figure out your OLL or figure out your PLL, okay, from 15 seconds of inspection, not unless your name is Brendan Valence. Okay, so us mortals won't be able to figure it out. So given those, when you have your 15 seconds of inspection, you have to use every single second well to figure out your cross, because the cross is either going to set you up for really easy F12 or you're going to fail horribly at the F12 because you didn't plan out your cross and inspect properly. So that's why to me the cross is a very important part of the solve, and using inspection time is also very important. Okay, when you're solving your cross, oh yeah, disclaimer. I saw my cross really weird. Not everyone. I doubt many people solve it the same way as I do. I'm not saying it's the best way. I'm not saying everyone else sucks. I'm just hoping people learn to understand the way the pieces on the cube move and how to inspect. So inspection is the biggest part, I think, of the biggest point I'm gonna talk about, because inspection allows you to look for everything on the cube. Okay, one fundamental thing I would say is very important for everyone to know is, let's say you have this green cross piece here, and you want to put it in. So you're gonna do an R2, or R2 to put it in. Okay, one thing everyone needs to keep in their mind is when you do an R2, you're not moving the green cross piece. You're moving the entire layer with the green cross piece in it. Sorry, excuse me. And that's a very important thing to know, because every turn you make has consequences to every piece on the cube, every piece on that layer. So if you understand that, you're already well on your way to being able to inspect. The first step is understanding that, okay, when I do this, other pieces are going to be turning. Then after that, you can expand on that and say, okay, what if I turn it in a different manner? Maybe I can make pieces that are important end up in favorable positions. Okay, that's how you want to build your cross. You want to build your cross in a way that whatever needs to be in the correct spot is going to be in the correct spot. Okay, that's what a good cross, to me, that's what a good cross is. When you build your cross and everything ends up in really sweet spots after that. Now, when you're building your cross, you can always do it in 6 moves or less, I think. That's for any scramble, there's some cross on it that can be solved in 6 moves or less. I think someone said if you restrict yourself to just one cross color, like maybe white, you can always do it in 8 moves or less. Yeah, sure, 8 moves is great, but it might not always be the best thing, because those 8 moves might be like B, L, F, and D, which is really awkward. Okay, so I would much rather prefer a 12-move cross that is like R, U, and D compared to an 8-move cross like before. So you always want to build not exactly for short move counts, for move optimality, but you want to make your cross speed optimal, and also I mean by speed optimal I mean finger trick friendly, and also you want to make sure that when you do your cross it's not too complicated. Like if your cross has a bunch of R, L, F, and D moves, most likely you're not going to be able to inspect. So you want to keep it simple so that you're able to track pieces and predict where pieces are going. Okay, so I'm just going to do an example or maybe two examples, and I'm going to explain my thought process through those crosses, and hopefully from that you'll be able to take away a bit of the technique I use to inspection or so on and so forth. Okay, so these scrambles were from QQ Timer using the random state 3x3 scrambler. I don't know if that's the best one. It's the default one, so that's the one I use. Thank you for the scrambler, Michael Gottlieb. Okay. So what I did with these scrambles is I actually pulled these scrambles out from a recent a practice session I did earlier today or yesterday. So these scrambles have already been done, speed solved, like regular fast speed solving. And so what I'm just going to do is go through the reconstruction and explain why I did this, what I saw, what I didn't see, so on and so forth. Okay, so Tyson Mao, I think it's Tyson Mao color scheme or US color scheme. If your whites on bottom, you have green, orange, blue, red. Okay, so this cross is really easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the cross first, then I'm going to look for pieces that I'm going to build the cross first, then I'm going to look for pieces that move or don't move. Okay, so I have orange here, so blue's here, green needs to be here, red needs to be here. So I'm just going to put it this way so everyone can see the cross. That, and that solves the cross. Okay, so I have my cross done with an extra D prime at the end. I have my cross done, so all I have to do now is think about what's gonna move, what's not gonna move. Okay, so first things first, you guys don't have the solution, but the solution is using R moves, F moves, and D moves. So it's all R, F, D, like that. So one thing you notice is when you do R, F, D moves, the R, F, and D faces get scrambled, but this 2x2 at the back doesn't move at all. Same thing here, this 2x2 here is not going to move. And that's important because now we've identified where two F12 pieces are, and that's already a very important thing. Now, just looking at it like this, I didn't see the red-green corner, even though it's here. I didn't see it during my inspection, so I didn't really think about this piece, but this right here is over here. I mean, its edge is over here, so I thought, whoa, this is a possible F12 pair. I mean, it's not exactly the prettiest one, but worst comes to worst, at least I know where one is, where one might be. So I thought, okay, so this is important. So I put this at the back of my mind. Okay, from the inspection, I already found out, okay, one piece isn't going to move. So I don't have to think about it anymore. I don't have to track it at all during my cross. I can think about other things. Okay, so then from this is going to take some practice, but after a while, you'll be able to simulate the actual cross turn, the cross in your head when you're solving it. So you'll be able to figure out what goes where. So the next thing I saw is these two, or these three, but who cares about this for now? I didn't see this. I didn't think about this during my inspection either, so who cares? These two aren't going to move. Okay, so I have one free F12 pair, like I said earlier. But why they aren't going to move is because I'm going to actually bring it up with an F prime. I'm going to bring these two up. But when I bring this back down, like these two pieces don't move. Yeah, so these two pieces aren't going to move at all. So I figured out one F12 pair. And this orange-blue, I thought to myself, okay, I have this. It's tucked away at the back of my head. I don't even need to think about it anymore. All I have to do is figure out where the blue and orange edge piece is going to be. Now, I knew it was here, So all I had to do is track its movements when I was solving my cross. So basically from 15 seconds of inspection, by doing it step by step, first figuring out the cross, then after that looking at things that are influenced by the cross and the cross's movements, I was able to figure out basically 2 F2L pairs for free. Okay, so I already figured out 3 pieces, and I only have to track 1. So instead of just doing the cross and then tracking, like I say, do the cross and then track where this moves while you're building the cross, I didn't have to do that. All I had to do is track 1 piece because I already knew where 3 were gonna end up. So what I did for my cross was that, and when I brought this down, I knew that this is not gonna move anymore because all I have to do is FD prime. So this is gonna end up like that. Okay. So, and I managed to track that as I was doing the cross. So basically, I just got 2 F2L pairs by just I got 2 F2L pairs just by doing smart inspection and tracking only 1 piece. So that's what I would like people to know, to learn how to do, so that they can use their inspection time well. And the rest of the solve eventually maybe might come in a later video. I still have the scrambles and the solutions. I might, do an F12 video later on or something. Okay, so I'll do one more example. Ooh. Okay, so I'll just do one more example. There are 2 ways that I like to build the cross. One is what you saw earlier. I build the cross first, then I look for pieces that are moved or not moved by the cross. One other thing I like to do is build around a certain F12 pair. Okay? So the next example is gonna be showcasing that. Okay, so with this one, once again, it's a really easy cross. Doesn't from the front or from the back, it doesn't really matter how you want to do it. But blue is already in, orange is pretty much in. All I have to do for red is, so you can see, is how do I put it? This angle, yeah. Is this, bring down this, and it'll be in. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. So I thought, wow, that's a really easy cross. And then after that, I thought to myself, but just looking at it, I don't see anything nice with the F12 right now. So I might be doing that, then that, and I don't see anything good. Oh no. Okay. So from there, I tried to figure out what is gonna happen when I do the cross, and is there anything I can do to manipulate the pieces? So I tried to build around an F12 pair. So the thing I noticed is, with my red piece, I'm essentially gonna be doing an R2 to solve my cross. So this red-blue piece is gonna be brought up, and it's gonna be in the wrong orientation. Like, it's not gonna be right. Is this the right one? Yeah. But I didn't know that it was gonna be up there. So I thought to myself, okay, if I can find the red-blue corner, maybe I can build something around that. So I was like, maybe running out of time or something. I don't know what happened in the solve, but so you think to yourself, okay, I need to do this fast. So you see this here. Then you think to yourself, wait, this is no good. It's stuck to the orange cross edge, and when I do my cross, it's gonna be stuck there, and you're like, oh man, that sucks. So it's one is here and one is here. Not to worry. Okay, so this is where manipulation of the cross comes in, so that I set up an F2L pair works. What I'm gonna do, what I did is, I put this down first instead of last. Okay, so I put this down. I put this down last because that way, when I do my red and green, it gets pushed up. And like figuring out orientation is something else you can learn by yourself, I guess. So I pushed it up. So I thought, okay, if I put this in first, then I do this, I'm gonna have my red-blue piece up here and my red-blue corner over here. And like orientation is figured out. And then I thought, okay, that's great. So I have one F12 pair in the U layer already, easy to solve. But then you have to remember, oh great, the orientation is wrong. What can you do? So this isn't exactly manipulating the moves anymore, but what I did is, to solve the cross, I did it this way instead. I guess I'll show it this way. Basically, what I did by doing a Y rotation, this is now correctly oriented. So it was a quick and easy fix, and it allows me to solve the F12 pair that's going to end up here. So the corner is going to be facing, the white corner is going to be facing this way, and it's going to be here. So from here, all I had to do is D and U, push that in, and then bring this up with the pair here, and free F12 pair. Okay? And rest of solve is going to come later. Yes, thank you, Justin. Okay, eventually maybe I might do the rest of the solve, but I don't know. But yeah. Okay, so basically a quick summary for anyone who doesn't feel like watching 17 minutes of video. Use your inspection time well when you're doing your cross. Understand that you can never move a piece. You can never move a single piece. You're always moving a layer. If you understand that, you'll be able to manipulate pieces around the cube during inspection to help solve the cross. Use your 15 seconds well. Try to either build the cross and figure out where the cross is going to move pieces or where it's not going to move pieces, or try to build your cross around a certain F12 pair that you know is going to be really easy. Okay, so go forth and solve cross. Good job. Yes.